Well, hello, Barbies and Kens alike, and welcome to today's episode. We are talking about the most anticipated movie of the summer besides Oppenheimer, which is Barbie.
Yes. I am so excited for this episode because holy moly, that movie was so good.
I loved it. I loved pretty much everything about this movie. And I also really appreciated that the advertising for this movie didn't give anything away.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I feel like a lot of times, like certain, like I don't know, certain ways they cut trailers and stuff and scenes they use. I'm like, you used all the good scenes for the trailer, and so now the movie was kind of boring. But Barbie didn't do that. Barbie like kept its mystery the whole time. I had no idea where this Barbie movie was going to go. I just knew eventually that both Barbie and Ken would be roller skating down
Yeah.
Venice Beach in neon everything, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. Like Ryan Gosling, first of all, I don't think I could
Oh,
ever picture him in another movie because I'm just gonna always picture him as Ken now.
you're like, you're just Ken
Especially in the
forever.
beginning. Yeah, like especially in the beginning of the movie, I was like, this is so good. Like I loved him so much in that movie. Now I just like blonde Ryan Gosling with the Barbie, the Ken-ness is just forever ingrained in my brain.
Absolutely. I loved all of the people they cast for all the Kens.
Yeah,
Like, there was
the
not a
entire
bad
cast was
Ken.
so good. Like, the
So
entire
good.
cast of the movie was so good. Like, it had Michael Cera as Alan, which I was like,
That
"This is
was
so funny."
hilarious. I
Yeah.
like, when I saw that he was in the movie, I'm like, "Oh, okay." But,
Yeah.
and which was the same reaction as, what's her name? Kate McKinnon. I saw those 2 names, Kate McKinnon and Michael Cera, in the Barbie movie, and not that they aren't beautiful people, but I was just like,
You're like, "What?
well, with
How does this fit
like,
in
it
here?"
doesn't really fit the aesthetic. But the fact that Michael Cera was Alan, who I think is one of my favorite characters now,
Yeah, so
was
good.
beautiful. And then Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie that they call to behind her back and to her face,
Yes.
um, is just like perfect. The fact that she was always in the splits, hilarious. Her
Yeah.
boots were amazing.
Which honestly is relatable because I know, like, I definitely did things like that with my like, I had some weird Barbies, so,
Were
like,
you
when they
you were one of
when they
those?
yeah, well, I had a couple like that. I also had, like, dogs growing up that would, like, eat some of my Barbies, so, like, all my
Yeah, so
Barbies
they
were just,
just
like, kinda weird.
become
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like, when she showed up, I was like, "I can relate to that because I definitely had a couple of weird Barbies."
Oh my gosh, and I love the marker around her eye
Yeah.
too, because I feel like that's, like, a signature thing for a lot of weird Barbies to have is there's gonna be
Yes.
some kind of marker somewhere, typically on the face.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see, what else? What else? There's so many things to talk about. Okay,
There
so
is, yeah.
you obviously had Barbies growing up, because I know I had Barbies growing up.
Yes, I had so many Barbies growing up.
The one thing that this movie kind of tackles in, I would say, kind of like a direct but also indirect way is how Barbie influenced you when you were little. Um,
Yes. Mhm.
I know I talked to, especially a lot of like my older friends who don't I mean, and neither do I, equivalent with the idea that you are supposed to look like Barbie. Like, little me never thought I'm supposed to look like Barbie because to me, Barbie was a doll. She was
Yeah.
not like a role model to like
Yeah.
model myself after, except the fact that she had every job, accessory, piece of fashion that you could think of. Like, I wanted to be lifeguard Barbie for the longest time because she came with a whale, and I was like, that's it. I wanna
That's
swim with
fitting.
the whales. I wanna be I can't even remember what actually her name was, but she came with a killer whale, and I went through a Free Willy phase, and I'm like, "Yep, that Barbie, I wanna be her." But I like that this movie kind of talks about that, but it's not the point of the movie.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
that was my
I
fear, was that it was gonna be the point.
yeah, I think they did a really good job at, like, touching on it, but not making it the whole point.
Mhm.
Like, I just also like what you were saying earlier, how you didn't really know where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, the ending was very
Oh my
deep, and I was like, "Wow, I
yeah.
am I about to cry in the Barbie movie right
Absolutely.
now?"
Crying in the
Like
Barbie movie.
yeah. Like, it was so good. Like, honestly, it's probably one of the best movies I've seen in a while. I absolutely loved every aspect of it. I loved, like it had so much good, like, humor
Yes.
and, like, good plots. They, like, kept the story going, and, like, the ending, you were just like, "Oh, wow." And, like, that ending scene, like, it was just so good all around. Like, it was just
Yeah.
and I love Ryan Gosling as Ken. I just
Oh
love
my
it so
gosh.
much.
Amazing. I liked, the part where he was talking about, oh my gosh, patriarchy
Yeah.
and, how the minute he realized that it wasn't
We weren't
about
about
horses, he didn't really care.
yeah, he's like, "I lost interest."
And I'm like, "Same, Ken, same." So I feel about a lot of things. I'm like, "Oh, this is cool," and then I realize it's not what I thought it was, and I'm like, "Ah, never mind. I
Yeah,
don't
you're like,
care
"Okay."
anymore."
Yeah,
Um,
Ryan Gosling had, like, some of the funniest, like, scenes. Like, I like the
oh
part
my gosh.
when they Barbie's trying to, like, figure out who this girl is, so she's sitting on the
Mhm.
bench, and he's like, "I'm bored," and she's like, "Well, go for a walk," and he's like, "By myself?"
I love that he's so, like, needy. It's
He's so
so
needy, and it's so
funny.
funny.
I also like every time he says, "Hi, Barbie," and she goes, "Hi, Ken," and then, how do you say his name? Simu was like,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he would go,
mhm.
"Hi, Barbie," and she said, "Hi, Ken," and then Ryan Gosling's Ken is just, like, grumpy about it.
Yeah,
Their
their
little
rival
rivalry is
yeah,
hilarious.
was so good, and then, like, the dancing, they had, like, the little dancing number, towards the
Yeah.
end, which I was like, "That is, like, 10 out of 10." Like, I need this, like, played back in my head, like, just the dancing
Yes.
fight battle between them just playing over
Oh
in a
my
loop in my
god.
head, please.
So good.
Like yeah, that
So good.
movie
I also love that
so good.
Ken's official job is beach.
Beach, yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's just like, "What does that even mean?" And they're all like, "But you're really good at beach, Ken." And he's like, "But I don't know what that means."
I yeah, and then when he's, like, in the real world and he's trying to
He's
find,
trying
like,
to
a
get a
job,
job.
and he's, like, going up to the lifeguard, and he's like, "I can't do that job because I can't save those people, but I can do it from over here, but I also can't save people. I can just stand
Yeah.
here,
He's like,
basically."
"I can stand on the beach." And the
Yeah.
lifeguard's like, no."
Yeah, the lifeguard's like, "That's not a job."
Yeah. I also like I mean, obviously, if you guys are listening to this, I hope you've already seen Barbie because
Yes,
spoiler
yes.
alerts all over the
Yeah,
place.
don't
Um,
listen to it unless you've seen it because yeah,
yeah.
spoilers.
I when I found out that America Ferrera was in this movie, first of all, I went perfect because she's stunning. But I do like that she ended up being the main character and not her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought
Um,
that was interesting too.
because I feel like that resonates with a lot of people who grew up with the original Barbie, but also
Mhm.
like the people that are like our age where we had the animated Barbie movies and all the Barbie video games. And so we still feel that connection with Barbie. So I like that it was her as the main character because I don't know. I mean, I don't know a lot of like younger girls because all of my friends had boys, of course, but I don't
Yeah.
know like what today's like relationship with Barbie is.
Yeah, I
Because I
don't
know
know, I
like
don't
when I
it's
was
definitely not the
younger,
same.
no, because I know when I was younger, like my mom loved her Barbies and her dolls. So of course I loved my Barbies and my dolls and all my friends liked our Barbies. But then again, I know there was a small group of people that were like, I can't believe, they would force this, young girls to want to be like this and and blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't think little girls' relationships with Barbies is the same as like our relationship with Barbie was.
No, definitely not. Also I feel like, well, I don't know if it's just because I didn't have any concept of like what money was back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like Barbies now are so expensive.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I feel like you could just like you used to be able to buy just like a plain old regular Barbie for like $2 at Walmart, and
yeah.
now they're
Oh
like
yeah,
$10 for like a regular,
yeah.
like no accessories or
For
anything.
just the Barbie, the set of clothes
Just
she
the
comes
Barbie.
in,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
no, yeah. And I remember like growing up, like I had like a lot of Barbies. Like I had like over like 8 Barbies, at some points in my life.
Yeah,
Um,
it's so many.
s- and so I mean, like today, because I mean, I have friends that I get invited to birthday parties for their kids, and I go to shop for them, and I'm like, $20 per child, but like $20 literally gets you like a Barbie.
One thing. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I
just
know.
the
It's
Barbie.
crazy. Yeah.
Like,
Kids' toys are very expensive nowadays. I have friends that have kids too, and I'm like, I just spent $30 on one thing?
yeah.
Like, excuse me?
And like, I always think about like cuz like obviously parents are only going to buy their children like certain things, but like when you get to be the cool aunt or the cool friend, you're like, I'm going
Mhm.
to splurge and I'm going to get you like I used to have like an RV for my Barbies.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to buy that now, that's like a $50 or $60
Yeah.
or even $100 RV for your Barbies. And I'm like, "Ooh."
I remember when I was I don't know how old I was. I think my dad still has a video of it, but one Christmas, all I wanted was the Barbie airplane because it
Uh,
had like the working little like speaker so you can like talk to your guests in the airplane, and like I
yeah.
just wanted it so badly, and then like I got it for Christmas, and like there's a video of me like screaming being like, he brought the Barbie airplane. Like I was so
Oh.
excited for this like Barbie airplane, just like because I was like, it has a speaker and I can talk to my passengers.
Yes. Yeah, I remember I had it was a house. It wasn't Barbie's dream house. I always wanted a Barbie's dream house,
Me
but like
too.
those were so expensive.
Yeah.
Because like back when like we were young, I mean like those things were for one so heavy and so well
Yeah.
made. Like today, like when you see like the Frozen castle and stuff at Costco, it's mostly like cardboard. It's not even like actual wood
Yeah.
anymore. So they're cheaper, sort of. But I had, and I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere. It was just like a regular run of the mill house. It had a kitchen. It like folded like outwards, so it had like a little room divider. And she had one
Mhm.
side was the bedroom and one side was the kitchen, and it came with all the furniture and stuff. And my mom had bought me like a little set of like a fridge and a stove, and the fridge, like when you press the little like ice cube machine, like actual ice cubes, little plastic
Oh,
ice
yeah.
cubes would come out.
Mhm.
And I just remember thinking that was the bee's knees. I was just like, this is the
It's the
greatest
best
thing
thing
to
ever.
ever exist.
Yeah, definitely watching that movie made me feel, like, super nostalgic and being like,
Oh
"Ugh,"
yeah.
like, if like, how, like, I used to play with, like, Barbies and, like, how they got their little their feet don't touch the ground, like, their heels don't touch
Mm-hmm.
the ground, and, like, I also don't know if this was just me, but I also used to chew on my Barbie's feet when I was younger because they were, like, bendy and they were really chewy. So I would chew on them, and so would my
I
dog.
wouldn't I wouldn't chew on them, but you know what I would chew on is
Mhm.
Polly Pocket
Oh,
clothes.
yeah. That is a delicious snack, okay?
Yeah.
Those are
It was just like the perfect amount, like this is why we are the way we are. But it was just the perfect amount of chew. It was great.
delicious.
It's so
That's
good.
a girl dinner right
Uh
there.
the one thing that I was not expecting when she in the beginning when she's going through her dream house and stuff, when she goes down the slide into the pool,
Mhm.
I was not expecting it just to be, like, a flat surface that
Yeah.
she just stands on. I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Or, like,
It made me
when
laugh, though, because most houses, like Barbie dream
mhm.
houses, the pool's just painted on the floor, it's not an actual pool.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like how, like, everything in, like, the Barbie world was, like, fake. Like, they like,
It
every
looks
time they took a
so
sip,
much
it was just
plastic. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
It was
"That's great."
definitely a plastic world, it was great.
Yeah.
Um, I also
But,
love
yeah.
when they're on the beach and the sand is plastic. It's just one
Yeah.
big plastic lump, and the waves are
The
they're
waves.
waving, but they're just plastic, so they're just, like, permanently curled and, like, little white foam, and that just, Ken runs out there and just bounces off, gets yeeted into the sky. Like, "Oh, no."
I also loved, like, when they had to get the ambulance for him, because like, I remember specifically, like well, like, specifically with my Barbie airplane, like, the way that they, like, opened up,
Yeah,
because they,
yeah.
like, I don't even know how to describe it, like, they fully, like, open, so, like, the whole entire car, like, opens up, I
Yeah,
like
it
that they
opened
did
into, like, a
that.
play set that had, like,
Yeah.
rooms and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Um, so I liked that because I remember, like, specifically because like, my Barbie airplane, like, the whole top, like, both sides, like, folded open, so, like, the
Yeah,
entire airplane was opened up so you can, like,
yeah.
chill out in there and stuff,
Yeah,
which
that's
I
how
thought was really
my
cool.
RV was the same way. It, like,
Mhm.
opened up one side, so it was just, like because obviously toys, especially stuff that's big, has to get folded so that it can get put away and stored. Because there's nothing worse
Right.
than having a house that just, like, stands it doesn't fold, it just
Can't do
stands up
anything,
all the
yeah.
time. Yeah, so, yeah, the way, like, stuff open like that, it made me laugh, especially because when they opened the ambulance, it had wheels, and I'm like,
Yes.
"That's exactly how, uh, that would be designed as an actual
Yeah.
toy."
Yeah, it was very much, like, giving me like, young me was like, "I Ugh, love Barbie so much. I also love, just the whole, like, Venice Beach
Oh my
scene. I
gosh.
love when they kept getting
Yes.
arrested.
Oh my
Like, the first time they
gosh,
get
that was
arrested and
hilarious.
Ken's, like, holding up the sign, like, all, like, happy.
I know, he's just like, "Cool," and we're like, "Oh my god," and I love that at one point, Barbie's like, "And I keep getting arrested."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Homegirl, come on."
Oh, I love that, like, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling just did such an amazing job,
Yes.
and, like, they're just, like I just wanted to like, the whole movie, I just wanted to be like, "Oh, Ken, you poor sweet dumb
I
thing." Like,
know.
"You poor sweet
You
baby."
sweet baby girl.
Yeah. Like the whole time I was or like, my I love the scene when they're trying to, get them all from being brainwashed, like, all the Barbies from
Mhm.
being brainwashed, and then they're trying to make all the Kens jealous, so they all fight each other. And they're
Yeah.
singing Matchbox 20, like, I was dying laughing. I was like, "This is so funny and just, like, so just out of pocket and
Yeah.
hilarious," and I was like and, like, the campfire is just, like, you know,
It's
plastic.
just
It's, like,
like a
not an
little
actual
yeah, it's a
campfire.
light inside of
Yeah.
something shaped like fire. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think, like,
So
the whole
good.
cast was just so good, like, Will Ferrell was in it as, like, the CEO of
Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Mattel.
Yeah. It's like, "You can call me mother."
Yeah, and she's like, I no, thank you.
I'm not gonna do that.
I won't be doing that." Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was like, because when I saw that he was in it too, and I'm like, because Will Ferrell is, I would say, over the top most of the time. Like, his humor is
Yes.
not subtle in any way, shape, or
No,
form, but
absolutely
he
not.
definitely, like, fit in this role as, like, funny, but also, like, undertones of creepy.
Yes.
Just like, I love the one, I think it's towards the end where he's like, "I just wanna make little girls' dreams come true, but not in a creepy way."
Yeah. Yeah, I thought his character was really, really good too. I like the part when they're chasing Barbie and he's like, "Go over the cubicle, it's
Oh,
faster." And then he's like
yeah.
struggling to get over the cubicle.
Takes like 30 minutes to get over the
Yeah.
cubicle, yeah.
Or when
I
they're
also
trying
love
to
that,
like
like,
get out.
Barbie's just, like, running, like, straight through the cubicles, and all
Yeah,
the, like, worker bees are, like, running around each cubicle, and I'm
right.
like, "Does nobody know how to catch Barbie? She's running in a straight line."
Yeah, and she's not even running that fast. Like you could
No.
definitely catch her if you
Yeah.
tried hard enough. Yeah, I just thought like it was just like such a good like mix of like funny and like made you like think like at some points I'm like wow. Yeah, like I'm like actually thinking about like what Barbie like means and stuff and then like the end where you know, they meet the creator of Barbie and she wants
Yeah.
to be human and have feelings and like that whole montage of like feelings at the end. I was like, I
Yeah.
feel this. Like I get it.
You're like, "I too am becoming human in this moment."
Yeah, I wish I could be plastic and not have feelings, but like I guess it's fine.
You're like, "I guess if Barbie wants it, then I should be grateful."
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I
Mm.
just thought it was like just like really well balanced.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that movie. Like I could definitely go see it again. It
Oh,
was so
yeah.
good.
It's one of those movies that, like, if you take, like, children to go see it, they will have a good time, and then when they are older and they rewatch it, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, you let me watch this when I was little?"
Yeah, yeah. There was definitely some parts in there where I was like, I don't feel like this is for like children necessarily.
Yeah.
Like I definitely feel like it was like at some parts it was definitely more targeted towards people that like grew up with Barbies, like our
Oh, for sure.
generation
Yeah.
because like when they were talking about like not having genitals I was like well you know they don't like Barbies
Yeah.
don't but like
Yeah.
that's not a huge children's thing.
Yeah. Although, I feel like a lot of kids ask, like, why don't they have, like, especially boys.
Yeah,
Boys will ask, "Why don't they have a penis?" And you're like, he's a toy, so
yeah,
he
it's
won't
a
have one
doll.
of those."
Yeah, it's plastic. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Yeah,
But yeah, there was like I definitely feel like it was targeted towards like the generation that like grew up with Barbies like you and
for
me.
sure. Yeah, it's
Because
definitely, like, adult movie, but,
uh-huh.
like, if your kids see it, they're not gonna understand half of it. They probably will
Yeah.
ask, and you have to be prepared to answer those questions or to avoid them, but,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, it's
it's
definitely like if
not.
you take your child to it, it's a like they would enjoy it. Like
Yeah,
it was a
it's
good
fun.
movie. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is a fun movie, but like I feel like a lot of the humor and like a lot of the like randomness with it was like
Yeah.
targeted towards like our generation who like had
Mhm.
Barbies and like had all these experiences with Barbies.
Yeah.
But either way, like it was really good. I know I keep saying that, but like it was really
But
good.
it was really good, yeah,
Yeah.
and I do love, both Margot and Ryan as our lead characters because they are not, I would say they're not considered young. Like, they're not
Yeah.
young actors. They're
Mhm.
not old actors, but they're not, they're not like Tom Holland, Zendaya level, they're older
Mhm.
than that,
Yeah.
and so, because I remember seeing, I think it was when they first cast the movie, somebody had made a comment that Ryan Gosling was too old to play Ken. And first of all, Ryan Gosling is not too old for anything. He can be whatever
No.
he wants, and I will go and
Yes.
watch it. Um,
Yes.
but two, I think that was kind of the point, is because Barbie's always been an adult. She's never
Yes. Mhm.
been a kid or a teen. She always had her sister Skipper and her other sister Chelsea or Kelly, depending on what time period you actually grew up in. So she's always been the adult.
Yeah.
So I like that they cast actual adults that look like adults as our lead characters.
Yeah, it was definitely very fitting and they just like Margot Robbie is so beautiful
She's amazing.
and like she could be Barbie. Like she's just
Oh, she is
so
Barbie. She
beautiful. Yeah, she
literally
is
is
Barbie.
Barbie. There
And
are
then
very few actors that get a role like that. Like Robert Downey Jr. is always going to be Iron Man.
Iron Man,
Margot
yeah.
Robbie is always going to be Barbie.
And Ryan Gosling will always be Ken because that is just I
Yes,
don't think I could watch I'm like, if I watch another movie with him in it, I'm gonna be like, "That's where's your
that's
bleach
Ken.
blonde hair? Why
Yeah,
are
hi
you like"
Ken.
Oh, it's so good.
That and then like if I ever get because I have friends ask me all the time when we're watching stuff, they're like, what is this person?" And I've seen them before. My answer for Ryan Gosling now is always going to be he was Ken in Barbie
He
the
was
movie.
Ken. Yes.
They're
Just
gonna be
picture
like,
him with
"I didn't
blonde
see that." And I'm gonna
hair.
be like, "Fine, he was in The Notebook. I guess we
Yeah.
can reference that one,
I guess, but
I guess."
now he's Ken. Like he will forever be Ken. No one will ever be Ken like
Except
the
him. Yeah,
original, yeah, like
yeah.
the OG. I also love like when they do their little, like girls night and he's like,
Oh,
"Well, we're boyfriend and girlfriend." And
yeah,
then she's like, "What are we going to do?" And he's like, "I actually have no idea."
yeah.
I'm like, "God, I love this movie so much. It's so good." Did you ever have like my favorite Barbie moment, like my most memorable was the Barbie airplane because
Yeah,
I also my parents recorded it and I was a little too
yeah.
excited. Did you have like a do you have like a very like specific memory of Barbies like growing up?
I don't think so. Again, the Barbie that came with the killer whale, and she had a really cool. It wasn't like a full like scuba suit. It was a like a shorts version. And
Mhm.
if you know me in real life, I'm a big shorts gal. I don't do pants.
Yes.
So that was very exciting. But for me, I feel like I mean I played with Barbies, and again that refrigerator that spit out the ice, top notch. Um, but I feel like for me, Barbie really stuck in my head because of the animated movies.
Mhm.
Like Barbie and the Nutcracker, I will literally still I watch that every Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. I have to watch it. Um and then also Barbie in the Swan Lake, very
Yeah.
good movie. Um I don't know, Barbie for me is just always one of those things I've always had because my mom had Barbies that she passed on to me, so I played with Barbies, but I don't know if I ever had, like, a "I'm gonna scream my head off because I got this Barbie" moment like you did.
Yeah,
Um,
I had so many, like, I don't remember like, that was the only, like, specific one that I, like, remember freaking out over, but I
yeah.
remember I had it was, like I think it was Barbie. It was, like, a pink bench, like, it was plastic and it was
Mhm.
pink, and you would, like, lift up the seat and it was, like, a storage bin, and I just remember that being, like, full to the brim of, like, Barbies and accessories, and I remember, like, every time me and my mom would go to Walmart, I'd be like, "Can
Yeah.
I pick out, like, a new outfit for my Barbies?" Like, because, she needs a new outfit, or, like, I would, like,
Yeah.
lose a shoe, and I'd have to
Oh
get,
my
like, a
god,
new
the
shoe.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. The accessories were always missing. I also that was another thing that they mentioned in the movie when I don't even remember what her character's name is. America Ferrera.
Oh, yeah, oh gosh.
I don't remember what her name was in the movie.
I don't remember either.
But I like when they're going back to Barbie Land
Mhm.
and they're on I think it's the snowmobile and she
Oh, yeah,
says
she says she lost the boots.
yeah,
She
and then
lost yeah.
she wasn't gonna buy a whole 'nother Barbie just to get the boots, and I'm like, "I get that." Like, I would always
Yeah.
lose accessories, and I'd have, like, a shoe or, like, I'd have, like, half an outfit, like,
Yeah. I
the
don't
accessories were
ever
always
remember,
missing.
like, if because I was obviously little, so we didn't really care if we kept, like, stuff together. I was one of those people, though, like, I had one of the I'm trying to remember what it looked like. I think it was just it basically looked like a shoebox, plastic pink rubber shoebox kind of thing, and the front would open, and it would be like you could put your Barbies in there, or you could use it as a closet for the clothes.
Mhm.
And I remember that being full of, like, because it had the little racks that you could, not that I ever hung anything, I just, like, shoved it all in there. Um, but, like, it had space for clothes, and then I had little, tiny cubbies on the bottom for shoes. So I remember keeping all of my stuff together like that, but I don't know if I mean, obviously, I did lose shoes and stuff like that, but I don't know if I ever lost any clothes. Um I do remember, my neighbor, she used to sew and make Barbie clothes for me.
Oh,
So I
really? You
yeah,
had
and,
custom
like,
Barbie clothes.
I had some custom Barbie clothes, which, were always some of my favorite clothes, and as somebody who sews today, I don't think I could ever make Barbie clothes. I think I would go insane because of how
Yeah.
tiny it is, and
Tiny, yeah.
she would use her sewing machine, and then do a little bit by hand, but I'm just like, I could never with the tiny armholes, absolutely not. Like,
Yeah,
I
that sounds
cannot.
that's some pure talent. I mean, it's pretty cool, like, the fact that you had custom Barbie clothes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this shirt, you can't get it at the store. It's
Yeah, nope.
custom. It's custom
One of a
Barbie.
kind. Did you ever have any, like, special Barbies? Like, did you have any of the princesses or anything like that?
I remember I had one Barbie that I don't remember it. My mom never let me touch it, even though I wanted it. I didn't understand like I do today because obviously like I collect stuff today and like I
Yeah.
understand like value and stuff.
Mhm.
But when you're a kid, you're like, that's a toy and I want to play with it. Like I don't care
Yeah.
if it's a collectible. But we had one that was like this Barbie in like this ball gown type of thing, and it was some sort of
Mhm.
collectible that my mom had gotten, and she never let me play with it, and I was always so upset because I was like, "This is I want to play with it." I also know, like, my
Yeah.
dad, like, when I was growing up, he collected, like, NASCAR stuff, and I always
Mhm.
wanted to play with them, like, I wanted, like, my Barbies to, like, race
Yeah.
NASCAR,
Yeah.
but he was like,
Avi.
"No, you can't have this," and I'm like, "Why not? It's a toy." Now I'm like, "Okay, I get it because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
older and I have collectibles myself," but that was the only one that, like, I had that was, like, a special edition that, like, my mom would not let me touch. Um, but did you have, like, princess ones?
I always had an Ariel because
I
Ariel was
figured,
both
yeah.
my mom's and my favorite, Disney princess. I think I know I had her, I think I had Belle at one point. I don't know if I ever had Cinderella, but I do remember 3 very vividly besides Ariel, because I always had I had multiple Ariels.
Mhm.
Um, but I had an Anastasia from the animated Anastasia movie. I had her and Dimitri, so I had the pair.
Mhm.
Um, I had, I don't think they were technically Barbie, but I had a Mycene doll,
Oh, yeah.
but she was the same size as all my Barbies, so they shared clothes intermittently. It might be an
Yeah.
actual Barbie product, I am not sure. Um, and who was the other one? I lost my train of thought of who the other one was. But yeah, I always had an Ariel, always had a mermaid of some kind. Um, but yeah,
Did you
I'm
ever
trying to
Did you so you never made any of your Barbies, like, weird Barbie? Like, I didn't, like, specifically make them like, I wouldn't go, like, rogue with my Barbies, but I definitely would, like,
yeah.
cut their hair and, like, give them different hairstyles. I remember one time I did try to straighten my Barbie's hair, and it
Oh,
melted because it's,
because it's plastic.
plastic.
I can't remember any. I mean, I always messed with their hair, like as far as I'd put it into braids, or I'd try to, I yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that kind of kid that did stuff like that. Um, I think probably the worst I ever did is I remember putting, like, detangling spray, like, when their, like, hair would get all matted, and I put detangling spray, and that doesn't exactly make anything better. It just
No.
makes everything very, like, sticky,
Sticky,
and,
yeah.
it leaves that, like, film on it, but I think that was kind of the worst I ever did. I don't remember cutting any of my Barbie's hair.
Oh, yeah, I
Um
cut a lot of my Barbie's hair, like, I would give him layers and, like, it's plastic, so they didn't look very good, but I would just kinda, like, roll
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. But I definitely I would curl their hair, just with, I used to have little foam rollers, so I put them in
Mhm.
that. I definitely if they came with a preset hairstyle, that hairstyle was quickly gone. It was
Yeah.
put into a ponytail or into a braid or kind of, anything but what they came with. But yeah, I don't think I ever destroyed any of my Barbies. I do remember occasionally, their legs popping off because I would try to
Yeah.
get them an outfit and I would shove too hard and then it just kind of pop and go, "Oops." Ugh.
Oopsies. Put that back
But
on
I don't
there.
think I ever mangled any of my Barbies. And I do have a younger brother, but he never really touched any of my stuff. So I didn't have a sibling destroying my Barbies for me either.
Yeah, see, I
He
had
just
a
destroyed all my action figures instead. Which I'm still bitter
I
about.
right, like, to this day,
Yeah.
not happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I had, um, dogs that would destroy my Barbies, like, they would be
Mm,
like, "These are chewy and delicious." So, like, I remember
yeah.
one time like, I remember, like, I had, like, a Barbie with, like, a just mangled hand because, like, the
Oh,
dog had chewed on it and, like, their hands were just it was just completely
yeah.
mangled and, and I'm like, "I have to now we're gonna have, an amputated Barbie because
Yeah.
I don't wanna get rid of it, but, like, its hand is all destroyed."
Yeah.
And then, like, the feet I always chewed on because they were so chewy and delicious. So but and I was never like, I feel like you're either, like, one of 2 kids growing up, like, with, like, our generation, you're either, like, a
Mhm.
Barbie girl or a Bratz girl,
I was
and I was
both.
see, I was always a Barbie girl, like, I had Bratz dolls growing up, but I didn't
Yeah.
like them because, like, I, like, specifically remember, like, not liking Bratz because, like, when you like, to take their shoes off, like, their whole foot would
The
come
whole
off,
foot whole
and if
foot
you
was
lost
gone.
it yeah, if you lost that
They just
shoe,
had no
you lost
feet.
the foot, yeah.
Yeah, they were just peg legs after that.
Yeah, like, I
Um,
remember, like, that's why specifically, like, I didn't like Bratz dolls, like, I still had some, most of them didn't have feet, like, they were just, like, chilling with no feet, but that's why I liked Barbies because, like, I could take their shoes off and they would still have feet.
yeah. I definitely had Bratz dolls. I mean, I had way more I had Barbies from a very young age,
Mhm.
whereas Bratz definitely came when I was a bit older. I remember speaking about the feet thing for Bratz. The only thing I didn't like about Bratz was that you couldn't interchange their feet with everybody because everybody was a different color.
Yeah.
'Cause I had every, shade under the sun for Bratz, so, I couldn't put I think her name was Chloe, was the white girl with the blue eyes and the blonde hair. I
Mhm.
couldn't put her feet on, one of the Latino girls. So,
Yeah.
that I didn't like that because there were some shoes for certain girls that I'm like, "But I want this one
Yeah,
to
like, I want
wear
that
the
shoe for that
shoes."
one.
There's always so much more for Barbie too. The Bratz was a phase thing,
Yeah,
um,
for
but
sure.
Barbie always had so many play sets and so many accessories and so many friends to play with. I also
Mhm.
like that Barbie always had Ken and his little
Yes.
brother Tommy. Whereas the Bratz girls, I think they did come out with guys eventually, but there wasn't much of a selection.
Mhm.
Um, but also, uh, I was also a Polly Pocket girl.
Yeah, me too, I also had Polly Pockets, but just
Yeah,
mostly
I
to
had
eat.
yes, I had both the Polly Pockets that had the nice rubbery, chewy clothes, And I also had the teeny tiny, like, original Polly Pockets that was, like, literally Polly could fit in your pocket
Yeah,
kind
like
of setup.
tiny. Do they
Yeah,
still make Polly Pockets, and are they still
they
delicious and
do.
chewy?
Um, I don't think so. I know for, like,
I
a
hope
hot
not
minute.
because, like, I would there was not a moment where Polly Pocket clothes were not in my mouth.
I think at one point they made Polly Pocket clothes like plastic, like actual, like they just like clicked on
Yeah,
instead
like they
of
snap on,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But they do still make Polly Pocket. I actually just bought my friend's niece a Polly Pocket. I wasn't, but it was like it's like the original Polly Pocket where they have
Mhm.
it's like they're like
Teensy
half an inch
weensy.
tall.
Yeah.
Um, but I think they do still make, like, actual, like, regular sized Polly Pocket as well. It's not as popular, though. Barbie's kind of withstood the test of time, whereas everything has kind of ebbed and flowed.
Yeah.
Um,
Now I'm curious, like, I wanna go to the store and, like, browse the Barbie
the
section
kids
to see,
section.
like yeah, like, to see what, like, accessories and, like, play sets they have,
The
because
the
yeah.
yeah. The main thing about Barbies now that bothers me, and it's not for what a lot of people would probably say political reasons, is they make all kinds of shapes and sizes of Barbies now, which I get where they were going with that. It's for the people who think you're supposed to look like Barbie, the crazy
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Um, but the problem I have with that is now all your Barbies can't share clothes
Yeah.
or shoes for that matter.
That's true, yeah.
Because they're all different sizes, and that was kinda, at least for me, that was kind of the awesome thing about Barbie is no matter what Barbie you had, you could share clothes. Like, there is very rare instances, like, if you got a non-Mattel branded Barbie, like, if you
Yeah,
got,
like the off-brand
the
Barbie.
dollar store Barbie
Yeah.
or, like, the store brand version of Barbie, you couldn't some of it was a little funky. It's just like when you have an American Girl doll versus the
Yeah.
store brand
Mhm.
18-inch doll, but that was very rare,
Yeah.
but now that they make them all shapes and sizes, you can't the versatility of Barbie is kind of gone,
Yeah.
uh, and I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, we need representation," but at least I don't know what their moms were buying them, but my mom always bought me every colored Barbie you could think of.
Yeah, my mom bought me I mean, I had so many Barbies, but, like yeah, I just had I just had so many different Barbies that it was I remember I had a Barbie suitcase that was specifically for
Oh,
Barbies that you could, like, clip
yeah.
them into the suitcase so they wouldn't, like, fly
Yes.
around. And
Yes!
I had it yeah. I had that thing full of Barbies because, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just had so many, like, I literally would beg my mom every time we go to the store and be like, "Hey, can I get a new Barbie? Like, look, she needs a friend, okay? I know I have
Yeah.
25 already.
Yeah.
Half of them are naked and I lost all the clothes to them, but I do need this new one. Please, please."
Did you have a
So
lot of, Kens growing up?
I had a couple. I didn't have as many as I did Barbies, but I remember,
Yeah.
like, I had a couple, um, and, like, not like, it was probably, like, 1 Ken to every, like, 10 Barbies. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I didn't have that many, but I
There's
do
always
remember,
less
like, having a
Kens.
couple.
Yeah.
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 Um, but yeah,
Did
it
you
was
ever
always
have any of Barbie's, like, siblings or anything? Like Skipper or
no,
Kelly
I don't
or
think so. I think I really only had, like,
just Barbie?
just Barbie. I don't think I ever had any of the siblings. Not that I can remember. I mean, I might have, like, obviously it was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but
There was probably, like,
now I'm
one
like,
here or there, but you definitely had majority of Barbies.
yeah, like, majority of Barbies, um, pretty much. Oh, I oh, I almost forgot. I remember, like, aside from the Barbie airplane, I
Yeah.
had begged my parents for this for the longest time, and it was the Barbie Volkswagen, the pink Barbie Volkswagen,
Oh,
and it was, like,
yeah.
the coolest thing, and I loved it. I remember, like, I had the pink Barbie airplane and the pink Volkswagen, and I thought I was, like, the
Was it the
coolest
bug?
person
The
ever.
Volkswagen
Yeah,
Bug?
the little bug, yes.
I had the purple one.
Yeah, I had the pink one, and it was, like, the coolest thing ever. Like,
Yes,
I
and
was like, "This is so cool."
I'm gonna tell you what else. So, I agree, the bug, I remember getting the now that you brought that up, I remember getting the bug, and that was amazing. I also had it was, like, probably one of the first, like, big Barbie things I think my mom ever bought me. Our family used to have a Jeep. And
Mhm.
when I was little, they came out with the Barbie version of our Jeep. It was a Jeep Cherokee. It was pink on the top and white on the bottom. And so I had that Jeep. It literally, I could squish in at least six Barbies into that Jeep, plus all the room in the trunk. It was amazing. And then I
So much fun.
remember one year I got, which I still have it. I think I still have all my Barbie vehicles, possibly, but it was literally the coolest thing. I got a Volkswagen VW bus. It was a blue VW bus. It could literally hold like 10 Barbies in it.
We're all going on a road trip.
It was so good. It was so cool, and, the front doors opened like a regular car, but it also had the sliding van door, which was literally the neatest thing ever because I played with a lot of Barbies, obviously, but like I said earlier, I have a brother who had a lot of action figures, and we played with whatever. My mom used to babysit a
Yeah.
bunch of kids too, so we just all played with whatever we had action figures, Barbies, it didn't matter. But that bus literally was used for everything. It was the
Yeah.
best. Could
Yeah,
fit everybody and
that sounds pretty
from
sick.
wherever.
I would've
All
probably
the
been
Ninja
jealous.
Turtles, all
Yeah.
the Barbies,
Everyone is fitting in
everything.
the bus.
Power Rangers, whole everybody's just in the bus.
We're all in the Barbie bus.
Yep, all in the Barbie bus.
I
Ugh.
love Barbie.
I think Barbie cars are probably, like, the best play sets ever. Like, the
Yeah,
best accessory you can get for
mhm.
your Barbie is a car
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
a
the cars
vehicle
were
of some kind.
mhm. Yeah, I remember,
Because
like, the
you had the
Volkswagen I had
airplane, I had a
was
camper
really cool.
bus, the
Mhm.
Volkswagen bus, the Bugs, Jeeps. I don't know, I wonder if Volkswagen had, like, a special deal with Mattel about, like, only their cars would be Barbie cars? I don't know.
I don't know
But
either.
I only remember Volkswagen and Jeep. But I don't
Mhm.
know if Jeep was actually Mattel brand, it might have been an off brand.
Mhm.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
VW Bug.
I know. I remember I, like, decked mine out in stickers, and I,
Yes! It
like,
came with
I had
stickers.
yeah, and so, like, it was just, like I'm pretty sure that was, like, the because I remember, like, when I was growing up, I always wanted, like, a bug, like, as my
Mhm.
first car, and I think that was the reason
Yeah.
why, was because my
Oh, for
Barbies had
sure.
a bug. Yeah, so I was like, "Oh my god, I want a pink bug." Now I'd be like, no, thank you."
Yeah, I'd be like, "No." Yeah, I definitely always wanted a bug too, and then I remember, we went to high school with a girl who had a yellow bug, and I remember seeing it, like, in person for the first time, and I went, "Wow, that car is tiny."
Mhm.
And I went, "Absolutely not."
Like, it'll work for the Barbies, but not for me.
Yeah, and then also, when it made the appearance, I think they had one in pink and in green in A Cinderella Story, her stepsisters
Mhm.
both drove bugs, and I went, "Nope,
Yeah.
I'm never driving
Nope.
one of those."
No, thank you.
Yeah. The one thing that I thought was funny that kept coming up is Midge is in this movie, the Barbie Midge, her best friend.
Mhm.
Um, and the only reason I remember Midge from when I was little is because my neighbor across the street who used to live there, her name was Midge. And so
Oh,
my
really?
mom would be like, "Oh, there was a Barbie named Midge." I don't know if I ever had Midge. Um, but I do think it's weird they made a Barbie that you could like stick a baby in and then you
Yeah.
could like pull her stomach
Pop
off
that
and
out,
stick.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very odd concept, but, like, I get it. I get because they were just trying to, like, pull in, like, babies and stuff into Barbie, but
Mhm.
I don't think that was the way to do it because it's just so weird.
Very strange, yeah. That it definitely makes sense why it was discontinued.
But I don't think I well, they said there was only 1 run of an Allen. I was like, "I've never had an Allen."
No.
I love him in the movie, though. He makes me laugh.
Yeah. I love when he's like they're like, "That's Alan, there's only one of him," and he's like, "I don't know why."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
Michael
like that
Cera
he
did
brings
such a
up,
good
like
Aaron Alan.
yeah, I do like that he brings up too that, he can fit into all of Ken's
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up out of curiosity, and that was, like, the main selling point of Alan was he was Ken's best friend, but he could also fit all of Ken's clothes, so, like, that was, like, the interchangeable kind of thing, and I'm like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah. No, Michael Cera did was such a good character in
Oh,
that. I was like,
top notch.
I love it. Like, everything yeah. I mean, if you made it through this podcast and you haven't seen it, you should definitely go watch it because it's so good. I know I keep saying that, but it is such a good movie. Like, I wanna go see it again. Like, it's that good, and I hate going out to
Yeah.
the theater.
The one thing that I am actually kinda surprised I haven't seen more is, Ken's song that he's just Ken.
Yeah.
Literally, as I'm, like, listening to the lyrics of it, I'm just like, "Wow, this is gonna be like the guys who go to see this movie or even don't bother to see this movie, they just listen to the song. They're gonna be like, 'Oh my god, it's so me. I'm so
It's
like
so me.
Ken and mer,' and I'm gonna be like, 'That was not the point of that
Yeah.
song.' That point of that song was to make it seem, make you realize how whiny you sound."
Oh,
Also,
we
the only
love
one who
Ken,
could
though.
ever sing it is Ryan Gosling. He's the only one that
Yeah.
can get away with that.
Yeah. Him in that dancing montage, like,
Oh my gosh,
top tier,
amazing.
10 out of 10. Yeah, so if you haven't
Yes.
seen it and you made it through this podcast, go watch it because it's so good.
It's so good. It's so much fun. Everything is very lighthearted. Um and Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling do such a good job because they're not playing it to be funny. They're taking it very seriously. Which makes it even funnier because it makes you
Yeah.
really believe that these characters are just like, "Oh my god, what are we doing? I don't understand how we did this." And
Yeah.
Ken with the patriarchy and his horses.
Horses. Yeah. Yeah, it is a super fun movie. It's definitely a lot I mean, I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but I'm
I
gonna
didn't
assume
either.
it's a lot more lighthearted than that movie.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can
Oppenheimer's
do a double
also
feature.
3 hours.
I
Barbie is
know.
only 2.
I was like because I wanted to see both of them. I still wanna see Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna
I do
see it,
too.
like, next week. But I was like, "Oh, I could just do, like, a double feature." Why is this movie 3 hours long? I cannot do that.
Yeah. The Oppenheimer though, like the people that are in that movie, I'm so excited to see them all in one place. Like, there's so many
Yeah.
good actors and actresses in there, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Ooh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
fun." I mean, not super
Not
fun
fun.
like Barbie, but, like, exciting, I guess.
Yeah, that one looks like it's gonna be a really good movie. Yeah, it's definitely a big weekend for the box offices, so maybe we'll see Oppenheimer and review that. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like too with both of these movies coming out, it's kind of uh, obviously the most anticipated movies of the summer,
Mhm.
kinda like how Top Gun was last year. I feel like it's just like it gets everybody hyped to go back to the movies.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, because I'm not a theater person. I usually just wait till it's on some sort of streaming service, unless it's, like, something I really, really, really wanna see. Um,
Yeah.
and, like, these 2, I'm like, "Yeah, I will go to a movie theater and sit in the theater with all of the people and watch it," because that's, like, how good it seems, so that's the next movie I plan on seeing is Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I hope to see that too. Was you said there was a lot of people in the theater when you went?
Yeah, the theater was full, completely full. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
I
I again, don't go to the theaters that often. The last movie that I saw was Transformers, the newest one, which I saw a couple weeks ago, so at that point, it's not new, and there was, like, one other person in the theater.
Yeah, there was I don't think the theater I was in was full, but there was I was surprised there was a lot of kids
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids in
Um
ours too.
but I was very happy I didn't have like noisy kids. Like for the most part, they like sat the before the movie started, they were like freaking squirrels. Just
Yeah.
like chatter and noise and moving, and I'm like, "Oh no." But they were actually really good during the whole thing. But I had a lot of people uh I went dressed up, makeup,
Mhm. Me too.
rainbow dress. Um, and there was actually quite a few people that were dressed in like my mom wore a pink t-shirt because her and I are both not pink people. So that was what we had. But there was a lot of people dressed in pink, which was really fun to see. And I had a lot of people going, "Oh, I like your dress." And I'm like, "Thank you. I made it."
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of people dressed up. I was dressed to the nines. I had, like, a bubblegum pink dress. I did my makeup all pink. I did pigtails with pink scrunchies. Um, and I was like I, like, joked, like I was, like, joking with my dad, and I was like, "Yeah, can you believe I'm gonna go see Oppenheimer today?" Clearly, like, I'm gonna go see Barbie, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, I did too. I will put something where you guys can comment below if you've seen Barbie. Do you plan on seeing Barbie? I will make a quick comment that the music for this movie was absolutely amazing. All their song
Yes.
choices
Mhm.
stellar.
Very
Uh
good.
and it's fun because I've added a couple of them into my work playlist, and so when I was DJing the other night, one of my, associates was like, "Is this from the Barbie movie?" And I said, "Yes, it is."
Yes, it is.
And she was like, "That's amazing," and I'm like, "Yay." But the music's super good. But let us know if you've seen Barbie. If you're gonna go see Barbie, you should go see Barbie because it's amazing.
Mhm. Yes.
Um and don't forget to do all the podcasty things. Make sure to subscribe, leave us 5 stars because you love us.
Mhm.
And make sure to tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends, tell your dog,
Tell your Barbies.
tell the Kens,
Tell everyone.
both here and in Barbie Land.
Yes.
And we will see you guys in the next episode. So, bye, Barbies!
Bye, Kens.